So as per the flow we are going. So currently we are discussing about the Python programming, and whereas in the Python programming, so I taught you some of the concepts, uh, that is how to set up the unopened environment and everything, how to install the packages and how to manage the environments, and how to learn the utilize the Python for data science. And yesterday we discussed about the keywords and identifiers, and also we had a discuss the comments, indentation and statements, and also we did the variables and data types in Python. And today, Vera, in the today's class, we'll be going to discuss about the standard input and output. Okay, so when it comes to the Python input and output, so in generally, if you see here I'm writing a simple command called print of hello world. So print is nothing but a it will print the output. Means it will print the respective uh, string or data, whatever it may be in the print. It will be simply print. It will be in the where in the output will be getting the hello world. And so this is the Python output for the respective Python function or input, whatever it may be. And if I give, of course, similarly here, what is A here? Anyone? What is A?
Variable.
So of course
Variable,
A
sir.
is yeah, A is a variable and having the value of 10. So here I'm trying to print the value of A is, and comma, of course the formatting my output in such a way that so the value of A is comma giving the variable A. What it will print an exactly. So the value of A is 10. So if in order to, of course, if you print the below statement, the value of A is 10. In simple, I am trying to format my output. So saying that, so I was including the, what to say, where in the print statement itself, I was trying to include my variable, and I'm trying to format my output in such a way that I'm trying to get the expected output. That is the value of A is 10. And this is what a Python output. And one more thing. So this is one way of formatting the output. The second way of formatting the output is also this. So here I am having the two variables. One variable is assigned within a value of 10, and the second variable B that is assigned within a value of 20. Here we are having the two statements. One is A equal to 10, second one will be the B equal to 20. And if I want to means if I want to format my multiple statements in a single line, so what I'm doing here, the value of A is just I'm opening the flower brackets, and B is similarly doing the empty brackets dot format of A comma B. If we print this, the A value will be assigned in the very first empty uh, box, and the second B variable will be going to dedicatedly assign for the second empty. So in such a way that we are trying to format my output and making the multiple statements in a single line. So see here, the value of A is 10 and B is 20. Of course, you may get doubts. So why we need to format the output? So there are some of the scenarios. There are some of the scenarios at that time we need to format our output as per our convenience. And one more thing. So here I wasn't dedicated. Simply there are empty flower brackets or whatever it may be. It's completely empty. And there is one more approach is, for example, if you are having the multiple and multiple statements, and in order to have the multiple and multiple statements in a single line, instead of giving the empty flower brackets, whatever it may be, I am going for the dedicated values here. See here a equal to 10 and b equal to 20, and the value of b is 1. In this scenario, what would be the one value? Here I am giving the format a comma b. Okay, and what would be the value in 1?
20.
Exactly. So here nothing but, so here we are dedicatedly giving the values, so that as per the values, so the output will be formatting and in a respective position. And we can also use the keyword arguments to format the strings. So currently we did the, we assign the variables in the respective uh, empty brackets or whatever it may be for formatting or output. For example, if I'm having any string data, so what I will be going to do? So I'll be going to do in the same thing. So name equal to is my string, the Satish, and greetings equal to good morning. And here I was dedicatedly giving the so variable name here. And what are the variable name? So if I print my output, I'll be getting the respective value of the variable. Here my name equal to Satish. Hello Satish, good morning. So this is how I am formatting my output to get the results as expected. And so here we can combine positional arguments with keyword arguments. Like see here I'm going to print the story of 0, comma 1 and other dot format Bill, Manfred, and George. So here other is nothing but my variable is having the value of George. So obviously where in other the George will be going to be printed. And when it comes to 0 and 1, 0 is my Bill and 1 would be Manfred. So the story of Bill, Manfred, and George. So nothing but I was trying to uh, utilize all in a single. Of course, uh, here I was dedicatedly giving the 0, 1 and the index or the position arguments, and here I will be giving the variable name. So as per your convenience, you can do whatever it may be. So we can have the multiple position arguments here, and of course, this is how we will be formatting our output. That is the one thing. When it comes to the, there may be a scenario, of course there may be a scenario, so the scenario would be something that there may be a scenario that there are some of the scenarios where the user will be giving the input. Okay, so in order to give the user as input first, so let's take this is a scenario. Here I'm giving print num equal to input enter a number. So here I'm asking user to enter a number. Let's take 10. So let's take a scenario here. I'm asking user to enter a number, and a checkbox will be going to be present here. Where in the checkbox, if you are entering any specific value like 100, something like that. So, and the very next step would be I'm printing the respective number. The 100 number will be going to. So just click enter. So here we are printing the number. This is a scenario saying that, so we are asking a user to enter a number, and of course we are asking a user to do something like we are we are asking like we are giving a checkbox, and there will be going there the user will be going to some number or the string or whatever it may be. Let's take here input is a number. We try to make Sandeep. Just click enter and enter a number. Of course, it is a string actually. It is not a number, but wherein the as it is the input statement, so obviously it will be asking something. So I gave the input, and the input going to be printed. Why? Because the very next step we gave the print statement. So these are the standard input and output. The how we'll be going to format our outputs as per our convenience. The very first one. The second one would be how can we utilize the input function to ask a user to enter the specific value or whatever it may be. So this is what Python input and output standard formats. And I think everyone is clear. Yes. So thereafter we have so where in Python we do have the thing like operators. So like operators are the special symbols in Python. Like we are having in order to do some of the logical computation or arithmetical computation. So obviously we'll be going to use some of the operators, and there are some of the operator types: arithmetic operators, comparison operators, that is relation operators, and logical or Boolean operators, bitwise operators, and assignment operators and special operators. So we'll go one by one, step by step. So when it comes to the arithmetic operators, so the arithmetic operators are used to perform the mathematical operations like whether it means subtraction or division or addition or multiplication. So these are comes under the arithmetic operators. Like if you see here, we are having the symbols like plus, minus, multiply, divide, and multiplying the two times and etc. So we'll go step by step. We'll go step by step. And here my x is a variable is having the value of 10, and second y is a variable is having the value of 20. This is like a multiple variables assignment, assessing the values. X equal to 10, y equal to 20, and the print additional operation, like if you do the print of x, of course I want to do the addition of two numbers. So simply I was doing the print of x plus y, and it will be giving some value like 30. And if you do the same subtraction, it will be giving the value of minus 10. Why? Because x equal 10 and y equal 20. 10 minus 20 minus 10. And if you perform the operation like division, you may get the value of something 0.5. 10 by 21 by 2, 0.5. Obviously, if you do the double slash, you'll be getting the floor division. It is a division value. And if you go for the modulo division, is obviously so 10. These are the arithmetical operations. These some of the arithmetical operations, and these are the symbols for the respect to arithmetical operations. That may be subtraction, multiplication, division, and etc. Exponential value. And when it comes to the comparison operators, so when I'm saying comparison operators here, I was trying to compare the two values. Okay, so whereas in comparator operators, I'll be trying to uh, wherein while we are using the comparison operators, it will return a value whether it is a true or false. Let's take here also there are the same a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. If I print a less than b, what would be the value? A is 10 and b equal to 20. Obviously, the condition is true. And finally, it will be going to the print the statement called is true. And similarly, greater than double equal to means double equal to means both are equal. Okay. So let's if you do go for double equal. So what it will print exactly? If I print a double equal to b, false. Why? Because a equal 10, b equal 20. Obviously, the condition is not satisfied and it's printing the value of false. So of course, and this is this would be the greater than less than double equal to means comparing the two variables. And if I'm saying uh, this is a not equal to, and this would be the greater than or equal to, and this is the less than or equal to. So this is how we'll be using in general. This all are the com simply comparison operators. When I'm saying comparison operators, I'm trying to comparing the two variables. So how they are correlated exactly? Are they are linear? Is the greater than? Are they less than? Or equal to what exactly? These all are the comparison operators. And when comes to the second one, logical operators. So wherein logical operators, we are having the logical operators or something like and or not are the logical operators. For example, if you take a equal to true and b equal to false and print a and b, what it will give? It will give the false. If you remember the logic where we learnt one uh, positive is a positive and positive negative is a negative and negative positive is a negative and negative is a positive. Do you guys remember this logic?
Yes.
So the same thing. These are the logical operators. So for example, true, false, obviously false. And if I place control Z, and if you do the similar thing like it will give the true means true and false means obviously true or false. So logical updates are nothing but so if you found this, of course, uh, there are a scenario R means 10. Okay, 1 or 0 means one means I will show you the in simple. I don't want to be confused. Logical operations. So when comes to AND operators, so the AND operator return true if both conditions are true. Otherwise, it return false. That is AND. For example, if the situation is that uh, let's take x equal true and y equal to true. So if that is a scenario, if it returns both same, then it will print the condition as the same. Otherwise, it will return the statement as a false. Similarly, when it comes to OR operator, the OR operator returns true if at least one of the conditions is true. It only returns false if both the conditions are false. Let's take here one of the scenario. Result equal to, of course, x equal to 10 and y equal to 20. Result equal to x greater than 15, x is 10, and or y greater than 15, of course, y equal to 20. One condition has been satisfied. Okay, one condition has satisfied. This condition was not satisfied. As per the OR operator, if any one of the if at least one condition is true, then obviously it returns the true. So this is one of the scenario. And if you see the similar and, whereas in and x equal 10, y equal 20, so x greater than 5, x equal to 10, of course 10 greater than 5, condition satisfied. When it comes to y greater than 15, of course y equal 20 greater than 15, both the conditions are satisfied, and it was returning the output as a true. But half an hour. And similarly, if result equal to x greater than 15, x is 10, 10 greater than 15, obviously it is a false. Means it is not a exact valid statement. And y greater than 15, it is also not a valid statement. Sorry, y greater than 20 greater than 15, so it is a valid statement. So as per the and condition, both need to be exactly satisfied, but in our scenario, one is satisfied, this is satisfied, and this condition is not satisfied. So that is what happened exactly. That is the reason it returns output as a false. And when it comes to OR operators, so when it comes to OR operator, any one of the condition need to be satisfied. At least one of the condition need to be satisfied. Then only it return. Then only it will return true. When it will return false means if both of the conditions are false, then only it will return the false. When it comes to not operator, so the not operator reserves the Boolean value of the condition. If the condition is true, it returns false and vice versa. Simply not operator is a completely different. Like there is a scenario x is equal to 10. X is a variable is having the value of 10, and if result if you say x greater than 5, here my x is 10, suppose 10 greater than 5, this is a actual valid statement. In generally it returns the true, but as you are using the not operator, it will reverse the condition, so that the obviously the output would be true to the output true becomes the false. So this is what the NOR operator will do. Similarly, x greater than 15, x equal 10, of course 10 greater than 15, it is a false statement. So as I'm using the not operator, it will convert the false result into a true result. This is the logical operators like and, or, and not. So these are the logical operators. I think you understand.
Yes.
Of and we too have the bitwise operators. So when I'm saying bitwise operators, like this operators acts like as an what to say, uh, for example, let's take and or what about this and or similarity checking, square, and these are less, of course, XOR, XNOR. So these are the bitwise operators generally. Okay. If you go to A equal to 10 and B equal to 4, and this is my bitwise and we'll see what it will give 0. And if it is R, we'll see. So we'll do the same search here, bitwise operators. So we'll get to know what exactly it is doing. As we discussed, one is the arithmetic operators. So whereas in arithmetic operators, we have some of the uh, operators like positive, negative, there is a differentiation, division, and etc. Thereafter, the large comparator operators, where in comparator operators, we are having the scenarios that so is the equal or is it greater than or less than or something. And when it comes to the logical operators, where in the logical operators, we are having the scenario like and or not, means and means it, both the condition need to be satisfied, then only it will return the true. And when it comes to the or, so in at least one of the condition it to be true, then only it will return true. If not, if all the conditions are not satisfied, then it will return the false. That is what exactly or. When it comes to not operator will reverse the actual output, whether it will return true. By using not operator, we are reversing it as a false. So that is what the logical operators. When it comes to the bitwise operators, wherein bitwise operators, um, whenever we are performing any binary representations, so at that time, most of the time we'll be going for the bitwise operators. Like if you see here, so A equal to 5 and B equal to 3. So if you remember in your childhood days, this is my 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 6. We used to have like this 1, 2, 4. 1 here is nothing. Here the 1 is present, is nothing but 1 and 4 equal to 5. This is how we are representing the A equal to 5. And similarly, B equal to 3. The binary format would be 1 and 2. If you combine B equal to 3, the result equal to A and B. See here, what is the if you do the A and B, as per our condition, both need to be satisfied. This is the only condition that is satisfying. It will return the, if you do the A and B, we will be getting the output as a 0, 0, 0 and 1. And the final output is the 1. So, so in simple and if you see here, as per condition 0, 0, 0, okay, and 1, 0, it's not satisfying the condition of and, obviously it will return the 0. 0, 1, it is also not satisfying the condition, it returns a 0. But 1 and 1, it is satisfying the condition, giving the value as 1. In such a way that we are getting the binary output of the and of A and B is 0, 0, 1. And as per our the binary format, so only the last one is present, so that the output is a 1. Similarly, if you do the OR operation, so how much it present now? And 7. Why 7 means? So as per our condition, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. See here, 1, 3, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 4. 7. This is how we are getting the this is a bitwise operators, whereas bitwise operators when we are using if the when we are working on the binary data in such a way in this type of scenarios we'll working on the bitwise operators. So where in bitwise we are having the OR, NOT, XOR, and bitwise right shift, okay, and bitwise left shift. These are some of the bitwise operators, and so similarly, if you go for the bitwise OR, so as I told you, we are getting the 7. And if you go to bitwise XOR, so it was trying to differentiate actually. So 1 comma 1 minus 0 comma 0, and finally we'll be getting 0 1 1 0. So this is bitwise XOR, and when it comes to bitwise NOT, completely opposite. See here, it is giving -6 something like that, and left shift. So left shift nothing but it is shifting the elements. I mean it is shifting the digits to left side. This is what exactly is happening. See here, we have double zero. So there are two letters has been shifted to left side. That is what is happening. When come to right shift, so similarly 0 0 1, this two will be going to forward means right side, and finally we'll be getting only the yeah 0 0 1 we are getting. This is what the uh, right shift. These are some of the bitwise operators, and we do have some of the special operators like is and not, something like that. The special operators are the identify operators. So for example, we are having the a equal to 5. So a is a variable which is having the value of 5. Similarly, b is a variable which is having the value of 5. That is how we assigned. If I say print a is b, a is b are not same. A equal to 5 and b equal to 5, both the values are same. If I say a is b, of course a is b, both are same. Phi is object created once both a and b point to the same object. That is what is happened exactly. So that is the reason the statement is true. And if I'm having the list L1, the variable is having the elements of 1 comma 2 comma 3, and L2 equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3. Print L1 is L2. So the thing is that as we know that list is in a ordered uh, list is a ordered elements which are separated by comma, and it's in a enclosed square bracket. If I say print of L1 and L2, we need to check all the elements whether L1 is uh, pointing to L2 or not. If I say L1 is pointing to L2, the there may be same means we have the ID operator somewhere. So as per this in simple scenario, so when we are using a is b means when I was trying to pointing out any variable to a different variable, so at that time we'll be using the is operation. And when comes to the in operation, like when I'm trying to check the elements, when I'm trying to check any element in the list of elements, at the time I will be going to use the in operations. Like here we have one list is there variable having the values of 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. and I was checking whether one in the list or not. If one in the list, it will return the true. Similarly, we have the dictionary of D variable having the values of 1 is my key and A is the value, comma similarly 2 is the key and B is the value. I am checking whether 1 is in the dictionary or not. Of course, 1 is the key which is present in the dictionary. So this is how we'll be using the membership operators, and these are some of the special operators like is and in. And any doubts? Hello.
Mm, regarding identity operators,
Regarding,
uh, identity operator. Yeah.
so it's nothing but similar now. So when it comes to is, so it is
Okay.
checking. If you remember that where in the first class I told you that, so Python stores some part of memory. Okay. For example, if A equal to 5 and B equal to 5, the both are assigned to the same value. Obviously, the memory location would be same. Is located on the same part of the memory.
Mm,
But when it comes to here, the memory part is different. The memory it was storing in a different location. So that is the reason it was showing it as a false condition. Okay. If you see here, Satish is there and Satish is there. If you let me tell you,
got it. Got it.
got it. So here nothing but I'm trying to check the memory location of the both the variables are pointing to same or not. If it is pointing to same, then it will be returning as a true. If it is not pointing exactly to the same memory or the location, it will returning as a false. That is what the identity operators. But that is the reason we are using ID as a condition here. So where ID will let you know the location of the means memory location, something like that. And you may have a doubt why it is not false here. Why? Because here we are using the is not condition. Okay. And when it comes to membership operator also, here also we have like simply not in. We have in is a not in. Both the conditions are there. So, you may get a doubt where we are using the special characters, the special operators like is and in. There are some of the scenarios like when we are trying to check the elements in the some large elements in a list. At the time of scenarios, we'll be going for the in, not in, to for the validating and for the checking purpose. We're using the special characters, the special operators. Okay. Any doubt? And when it comes to bitwise uh, operators, of course, yeah. When it comes to the assignment operators or the bitwise operators, so when we are dealing with the bitwise data, that is, if you remember 1101, this is the bitwise data. When we are trying to working on the bitwise data, so sorry, so when we are trying to working on the bitwise data or the binary data, at the time we'll be using this special characters. And I told you, I think assignment operators. When it comes to assignment operators, it's like here we are having the a is having the some value of 10. A is a variable having the value of 10. And here I'm using a condition equal to nothing but assigning some value to the variable. At the time, most of the time we'll be using equal. When it comes to plus equal to nothing, but in generally this condition would be it will give the or return the value as a 20. In generally how it will looks like means, let you know, a equal to a plus 10. Okay, this is how it was actually looks like. So here I'm already know the a value. So a equal to 10 plus 10. That is the reason it was giving the 20 as a value. Similarly, a minus equal to also. If I do a minus, this is how it will looks like. Okay, now it will return the minus 10. Sorry, 10 is the value. Now, of course, 10 minus 10, 0. And if you utilize the equal to means multiply equal to means it will equal to itself. Okay, the number is either adding or multiplying itself. So that is what exactly. These are the assignment operators. So in simply assignment operators nothing but so here I'm using the equal to nothing but I'm assigning a value to the variable and this is one of the operator arithmetic operator. This by using this arithmetic operator I'm trying to do my operation itself. That is what that is what exactly called the assignment operators. Okay, did you get the point? Any doubts? So regarding the operators,
No.
so as I told you, we are having the operators like arithmetic operators, and in arithmetic operators, generally we'll be performing the operations like addition and subtraction and multiplication as given in the description, as given in the code cell. Comparison operators, here I will be trying to compare the two variables. So having the conditions like less than, greater than, double equal to, and etc. When it comes to logical operators, here I'm trying to check whether the conditions like true and false. So how it acts exactly. Uh, Whereas logical operators, we are having to check the whether the two conditions are same or not. If the two conditions are same, then only if all the conditions are same, then only it will return. If you perform AND operations, the all condition need to be satisfied, then only it will return the true. Whereas for the OR condition, at least one of the condition is to be satisfied, then only it will return the true. When come to the NOT operation will convert the current result into the opposite results. For example, the current results is a true. By using NOT operation, we'll be going to make it as a false. Bitwise operators. If my data is in the format of binary, so at the time we'll be going for the bitwise operators. And when it comes to assignment operators, so in generally we are assigning a particular value to my variable. Okay, and in order to do any arithmetic operation itself, so at the time we'll be going for the assignment operators. And when it comes to special operators, like we are having the is and in. So when I'm trying to point out any variable to other variable, so at the time I will be going for the is operations. Where an is Whereas an is operation, I'm trying to check the memory location both are same or not. If it is same, then it will return the uh, true, if not false. Whereas in operators, I'm trying to check whether the respective element was there in any list or tuple. So in that type of scenario, I'll be going for the membership operators. So these are some of the operators. And similarly, standard input and standard output. So when it comes to Python input, I'm using a input function, whereas an input function, I'm asking you a user to enter a specific value. Okay, that is where we are using the input condition. And similarly, output, Python output. So in order to, of course, we can format our output as our wish, as our requirement. So based on that, we are using the Python output. So in order to format my output, I'll be using the format function or whatever it may be. So this is what exactly the Python input and output and operators. Any doubts?
No.
And when it comes to the keywords and identifier, as I discussed yesterday, so and of course from now onwards, after having at least 2 to 3 classes, I'll be going to you share the assignment. So please go through the each and every assignment, and there you'll be having the examples, the explanation, and the questions that need to be solved. You may think it is a homework or whatever it may be, and I'll be going to share in this chart itself. Is it possible to have share the data? So I will ask the team to send you the assignment to you guys. Please go through the assignment and try to complete. And once you are done with the assignment and send to me, so I will validate and will let you know. So generally, of course, currently as we are in the interaction itself, so I will be going you the topics which was I taught you, and there in the assignment you'll be having the each and every topic name and the explanation. Where in the explanation you'll be having the explanation of the each and every topic. The corresponding to explanation will be having the example, and under the example there will be homework. And of course it won't take much time, but the thing is that after having the session or the class, at least you need to dedicate some hours of time to revise what has been done exactly. And so then only you can remember. Of course, the thing is that at a certain point of time, in generally, of course, we of course, there may be a chance of forgetting the basics. We may learn classes, functions, and high end in the data science and in machine learning, but obviously we'll forget the basics. So in order to not to happen this type of scenarios, I recommend everyone to revise the sessions, and I recommend everyone to practice the session. Dedicate some hours of time for each and everything and revise the session, and if possible try to maintain one notebook, whereas in notebook just list out what are the topics has been done today and what need to be done, what will be going to be done by tomorrow, and what you are done exactly. And I'll request the team to share you the assignment to you. This is it fine for you guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is the assignment which I will be going to share with you the team, and team will be sending it to you. So if we have the time, we can of course if we have the time, we can go for the if and else. There is 5 more minutes. So can I start tomorrow or we'll start today itself? Yeah. When comes to the whereas in Python, of course, whereas in Python, we are having the some of the control flow conditions. Okay. So control flow is nothing but it allows you to execute the different blocks of code depending upon our conditions. Okay. So this is what a control flow exactly. Whereas in control flow, we are having some of the conditions like if, else, and if. This is one of the control flow, and control flow is nothing but it allows you to execute different blocks of code depending upon our conditions. Let's take the basic syntax of the if and else. We'll see if condition, and after having the condition, so we follow an indentation block of code if condition is true, and elif. another condition. Thereafter, uh, we'll be going to have one more condition here, and if the condition will be writing here. And if you want to write any block of code, you will be writing here after giving some indentation. Similarly, else is the final. So if all the conditions are not satisfied, then obviously it will be going to the else block. So this is what exactly. If condition, block of code, if condition is true, elif condition, other condition, block of code if above condition is false and this is true, else block of code if all above conditions are false. This is the basic syntax of the else, if, else, and elif. We'll try to see one example. We'll try to see the flow chart of the else, elif, and else. So this is a test-based representation. So whereas the condition one, if condition one is being satisfied, if the condition one is yes, then we'll be going to be in the block one only. If condition one is not yes, and if it is a no, then we'll be going for the condition two. And if condition two is yes, then we'll be going for the block two. And if condition two is not satisfied or is no, then we are going for the else condition. So that is a block three. This is a simple flow chart of the if, else, and if, elif, and else. So if you go for the simple if condition, so whereas in the simple if condition, let's take I'm having the variable x equal 10. Okay, if x greater than 5, I think x equal 10, x greater than 5, the condition has been satisfied. So the condition is a true. Obviously, it will be going into the corresponding block. So if I print this, I will be getting the output as a x is greater than 5. Why? Because the condition is a true here. If you go to similarly like if and else, so if, here my x is a variable having the value of 3, whereas in the if condition I am having x greater than 5, x equal to 3. Okay, 3 greater than 5, it is a false condition. Okay, so that this block won't be executed, and going for the next condition, that is else. So obviously if any one of the condition is satisfied, then obviously it will be going for the else condition. Whereas in the else condition we are having the block of code that is print x is not greater than 5, and this condition is going to be printed x is not greater than 5. Okay, similarly we have one more example, if else, if, elif, and else. So here my x equal to 5. So if x greater than 5, if this is my if condition, so here x is 5, but 5 greater than 5, this is not a valid statement, this is not a true. So that is the reason I'm skipping this block and going for the elif condition. Whereas in elif condition, of course we may have single if condition and single else condition, but we may have multiple elif conditions. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. You may have multiple elif conditions, but you may have only if and else in a single time. So if you see in the if, elif, and else, if this condition is not satisfying, why? Because 5 greater than 5 is not a valid statement, it is false. So for that reason we are skipping this block of code and going for the elif, whereas in elif x double equal to 5, nothing but x equal 5, this both are same, this condition is satisfying, and I am executing now this block of code. X is exactly, sorry, 5, x is exactly 5. Now we'll see one more situation like this. Control A, Control C. See now, here this condition also won't work. So this condition also not work out. And finally, this statement won't work out. This condition won't work out. And even this condition is not work out. Finally, going for this condition. So this is what I am trying to say, that we may have only single if condition. We may have single else in the if and else block, and but we may have multiple elif conditions where in the complete block. That is what I'm trying to say. When it comes to nested if, so nested if is nothing but where in the if condition we are having a sub if, nested if. In simple scenario, let's take, so here my x is a variable having the value of 10, and if you see the if condition, x greater than 0. For example, my x is 10 and it's greater than 0. Now, under that condition, what I am checking, whether in the very first scenario, I'll be checking whether x is greater than or not. If x is greater than 10, sorry, if x is greater than the 0, then I'll be making one more if condition, that is a nested if. The condition is whether the 10 is a even number or not exactly. So that is what I'm writing inside the if condition. So this is a nested if. And x is a positive and even. Similarly, here this is one more example. So whereas in this example, I'm asking a user to enter a number. For that reason, I'm using input condition. And one more thing, what are the number it is there? I'm converting the number into a float variable. See here. If I enter the number something like 7, what it will give exactly the response here?
Positive.
Yeah. So this is what. Similarly, here also enter a number. This is one of the nested if condition. So if you give, it is asking some number and input. If you convert, if you give any number, something like 6 or 7, something like 7 or else 0, what it will give? First, it was checking the number is greater than 0, and of course, why it was giving negative? Tell me.
Because both conditions are not matching.
Why? Because here in the if, where in the if condition itself, the very first time itself, we are saying that the number uh, if number greater than 0, here itself it is not matching. For that reason, obviously it will be going for the next condition, that is else
Ah,
condition. Okay, so this
okay,
is
got it.
what, and this is how we are using the nested if, and this is how we'll be using the if and else condition. Any doubts? Is everything fine?
No doubts.
So whereas in the tomorrow's class, of course, tomorrow we'll be having the class, and whereas in the tomorrow class, we'll be going for the remaining control flow statements. And once it was done, then I'll be going to give the one more assignment for the control flow statements. So yeah, this is team. And have any doubts, please let me know right now. So we'll try to clear.